Namaste. Today I'm going to read Volume 4, Book 6, Kailasa Samhita, Chapter 11, Description of the Brahman Vamadeva in the Shiva Puran. Hari Om Tat Sat. The sages said, O Sutta, O blessed Sutta, you are our excellent preceptor. We ask you if there be your blessing for us, your faithful disciples, as it has been shown by you, who are always affectionate to us. The opinion of Vamadeva was hinted at by you at the time of Viraja Homa formerly. O sage, it was not heard by us in detail. Now we are eager to hear it reverently and devotedly. O ocean of mercy, it behoves you to narrate it with pleasure. On hearing this, Sutta was thrilled with delight. After making obeisance to Lord Shiva, the preceptor of preceptors, to the goddess mother of the trio, and to his preceptor Vyasa, with devotion he spoke in a majestic tone, delighting the sages. Sutta said, O sages, hail to you. May you remain happy always. Devotees of Shiva, steady-minded, and propagators of devotion to Shiva. That wonderful thing has been heard from the lotus-like mouth of the preceptor. This was not mentioned by me before, being afraid of revealing a secret. Indeed, you are highly fortunate devotees of Shiva, and stable in your rights. Convinced of this, I shall mention it to you. May this be heard joyously. Formerly in the Ratantara Kalpa, the sage Vamadeva, roaming over the earth, entered Kumara Sikara, the southern summit of Meru, where the peacock vehicled Lord Kartikeya, son of Shiva, stayed joyously. The sage was a liberated soul even while he was in the womb. He was the most honored among the knowers of Shiva's cult. He knew the reality of the principles of the Vedas, Agamas, Puranas, and other sacred scriptures. He knew the births and activities of all living beings, gods, asuras, mortals, and others. The ashes made his body white. He was bedecked in the knots of matted hair. He had no permanent abode, no desire, no egoism, and none of the mutually opposing feelings and emotions. He was unclad. He was very wise, like Shiva himself. He was surrounded by the leading sages, who were like him and who had become his disciples. He sanctified the earth by the pious touch of his feet. His heart dwelt in the great splendor. Lord Kartikeya, the hero possessed of the power of knowledge, the suppressor of the asuras, stays there along with Gajavali and bowed to by all the gods. Near the Lord there is a lake, Skandasaras, as vast as an ocean, with plenty of deep, sweet, cool, clear water of wonderful attributes. The sage Vamadeva took his bath there along with his disciples. He saw Skanda seated on the summit, ascended by the sages. Shining like the rising sun, with the peacock as his vehicle, he had 4 arms and splendid body. He was bedecked in coronet and other ornaments. He was reverentially attended by 2 excellent Shaktis. He held Shakti and a cock. He showed the mystic gestures of boons and protection with his hands. On seeing Skanda, the sage worshipped him with devotion and began to eulogize him. Vamadeva said, Aum, obeisance to the meaning of the pranava, to the interpreter of the pranava, to the bija of the letters of the pranava, obeisance to the Lord in the form of the purport of the Upanishad, to the interpreter and the knower of their purport. Obeisance to Guha, to the deity concealed in the cavities of the hearts of all living beings. Obeisance to the secret one of secret form. Obeisance to the knower of the secret sacred law. Obeisance to you, the minutest of the minute, the greatest of the great, the knower of the greater, and the lesser, the Lord in the form of the great Atman. Obeisance to Skanda, to the Lord of splendor, as red as that of the sun, in the form of Skanda, to the Lord who wears coronets adorned with the garlands of the flowers of the divine Mandara tree. Obeisance to the disciple of Shiva, to the son of Shiva, to the bestower of bliss and happiness, to the beloved of Shiva, to the storehouse of pleasure of Shiva and Shivani. Obeisance to the son of the Ganga, to the intelligent Kartikeya, to the noble son of Uma, laying in the grove of Sara plants. Obeisance to the six-faced God of six imperishable bodies, to the one who interprets in six ways, to the Lord whose form is beyond the sixfold path. O soul of the 12, obeisance be to you with 12 wide eyes, with 12 uplifted arms and 12 types of weapons. Obeisance to the four-armed Lord, to the calm Lord who bears Shakti and a cock, to the bestower of boons, the learned, or to one with a bird in his hand. Obeisance to the splitter of the Asuras. Obeisance to the Lord whose chest is marked by the saffron that had been smeared over the breast of Gajavali. Obeisance to the one whose heart is delighted by the pleasures of the elephant-faced Lord Ganapati. O Lord, whose song of praise is sung by Brahma, or the gods, sages, and the Kinnaras. Obeisance be to you, who are the abode of fame reflected upon by the pious, O Lord, whose lotus-like beautiful feet deserve the worship of the garlands that decorate the splendid crowns of the gods. Obeisance be to you. He who reads or listens to this divine prayer, to Skanda, uttered by Vamadeva, attains the supreme goal. This prayer sharpens intelligence, enhances devotion to Shiva, increases longevity, imparts health and affluence, and yields all desires always. O Brahmins, after eulogizing Lord Commander-in-Chief of the gods, thus circumambulating him thrice and prostrating on the ground, Vamadeva bowed to him once again and went round him. Then he stood, bowing down with humility. On hearing the eulogy of Vamadeva unfolding the facts, the Lord, son of Maheshwara, was delighted and said, I am delighted by your worship, devotion, and eulogy. Welfare be to you. What shall I do for you? O sage, you are the chief of yogins, perfect and free from avarice. There is nothing for people like you which has to be solicited. Still, saintly men like you move about in the world for upholding virtue and blessing the worlds. O Brahmin, if it is fit to be heard, you shall speak it out. I shall expound it to the people for their welfare. On hearing the words of Skanda, the sage Vamadeva bowed with humility and spoke in a tone as majestic as the sound of clouds. Vamadeva said, O Lord, you are the great Isa, the bestower of prosperity to all and sundry. You are omniscient, creator of all, and the Lord bearing all Shaktis. We are insignificant creatures to speak before you, who are a great Lord. Still, it is your blessing that you speak to me. O intelligent one, I have but a particle of wisdom. Urged thus, I ask you, my transgression must be excused. Pranava is the word that expresses Lord Shiva. Lord Pashupati is the goal, the realizer of the bondage of the Pashus, the individual souls. Invoked with the mantra, he realizes the Jiva instantaneously. Hence, Siddhi is achieved with the mantra Aum for Shiva. The eternal Shruti says, verily, all this is Aum. Aum is Brahma. Everything is Brahman. O commander of the gods, obeisance to you, the Lord of the gods and the ascetics. Obeisance to you, the perfect one. In this situation, there is nothing distinct from Shiva in this world. Shiva is the Lord who assumes all forms. Maheshvara is all pervasive. The universal and the personal application of Pranava was heard by me, O Lord, but I have never heard a preceptor like you to tell me that. Hence take pity on me and reveal its meaning in accordance with the rules of instruction and the conduct of the good. My Lord alone is the preceptor who cuts off the bondage. O preceptor, now favour me with the exposition of its meaning. Thus requested by the sage, Skanda bowed to Sadashiva, the very Pranava itself, who is characterized by 38 excellent digits, who is accompanied by Uma at his side, and who is followed by the excellent sages. He then began to expound the path of welfare, well guarded in the Vedas. Footnotes. 137, it is not identified. Let's see what's that talking about. Okay. That is Kumara Sikara. 138. This lake, formed of the waters of the Kumara hill, lying to the south of Meru, remains unidentified. And here ends today's reading of the Shiva Puran. Hari Om Tat Sat.